Welcome back to Recording Movies Recap. Today I will show you a 2018 comedy movie, titled Hello Mr. Billionaire. Duo Yu Wang is a 37-year-old goalkeeper for minor league soccer team Daxiang, who hasn't had a very successful career. In the past few years, he's bitten an opponent and gotten kicked out of the game for it, played for a female team while pretending to be a woman, worked as a human sushi plate, and even modeled with no clothes for painters. When Mr. Jean calls him to have lunch with him, Duo Yu thinks he's about to be recruited to a more successful team, but it's actually exactly the opposite. Mr. Jean wants to pay him so Duo Yu will lose his next match on purpose, but he turns down the offer, explaining he dislikes fraud and for this, he won't allow the other team to make even one goal. When the day of the match comes, however, Duo Yu gets cocky and distracted after catching just one ball, allowing the opposite team to score 5 goals against him. The other team's players even throw him up in celebration for having lost so easily to them. After being kicked out of the team, a depressed Duo Yu doesn't want to leave his apartment, but his teammate and best friend Chang Zhuang visits him and drags him out to take him to talk to the coach, promising he'll get his job back. His plan doesn't go well though. The coach has no interest in taking Duo Yu back, and thinks a dog is already a better goalkeeper than he ever was. When Chang Zhuang threatens to leave if Duo Yu isn't welcome back, the coach laughs and lets him go, considering losing both of them at the same time a great thing for the team. On their way back home, when stopping the car at a red light, a traffic racketeer pretends to have been hit by them. Since he refuses to admit he's acting, Duo Yu and Chang Zhuang grab him, bump him against the car a couple of times, and even use his body to clean the car window. A young woman Xiaozhu suddenly sees them and calls them bullies, recording everything with her phone and calling over more people to be witnesses, not believing the racketeer explanation since she caught them with their hands in the cookie jar. This lands both of them in jail. The one to pay for their bail is Mr. Jean, who tells Duo Yu he isn't actually involved in the soccer business and their meeting the other day had only been a test. He takes them to his office and, after telling Chang Zhuang to wait outside, he introduces Duo Yu to Mr. Yin and Mr. Lai of Guangming Trust Fund. The three men explain to Duo Yu that his grandfather had a brother that fell out with his family and lost contact, causing everyone to think he was dead, but actually, he only passed away last month. Duo Yu is the sole heir to his fortune, but to be able to receive the money, he has to pass a test, which his second grandfather explains through a video he recorded before dying. Duo Yu must spend 2 billion yuan in 1 month, and if he's successful, he'll receive the rest of his second grandfather's money, 30 billion yuan. There are some conditions though. The money must be spent legally, he can't have any assets left at the end of the month, he can't get gifts or give money to charity, all money must be spent on himself. He can hire up to 100 people, but he must accept the service they provide. He can't destroy any valuable stuff he could buy, he can't bid up to excess the prices of the market, and he can't tell anyone of this game. In case his grandson can't take the challenge, the old man has added a coward clause. Duo Yu has the option to take 10 million yuan and leave as if nothing happened, which means the fortune would stay in the trust fund for Mr. Yin and Mr. Lai to use, or accept the challenge, which could leave him with nothing if he loses. Duo Yu takes the challenge, so Mr. Jean informs him he'll be monitoring him for the following month, to make sure he follows the rules, and assigns one of his company accountants to him to keep track of his expenses. This accountant turns out to be Xiaozhu, who doesn't want to work for him after what she saw on the street, but Duo Yu decides to hire her anyway as revenge for sending him to jail. Afterward, Duo Yu takes Chang Zhuang with him and together they go to the vault to see the money, almost passing out when they see so many bills together in one room. On their way out of the bank, with bags full of money, Duo Yu already starts spending it by hiring all the guards working, thereby promising them excessive salaries. After renting some cars as well, Duo Yu goes to see his old soccer team and informs them he'll be renting them and a team from the major league, the Hengtai, to play against them in the future after he's done repairing the whole stadium. The team doesn't believe he's rich now and laughs at him, so to make his point, Duo Yu makes an excavator come over and drop a bunch of money in the middle of the soccer field. The whole team joins Duo Yu in his cars, although when they take the road, he travels alone with Xia Zhu to try to hit on her, but she informs him she already has a boyfriend, an orator and educator, that talks about spreading positive energy and doesn't care much about money. Shortly afterward, they make it to a very fancy hotel that requires membership, but Duo Yu simply talks to the manager and offers him extra money to allow them to rent the entire hotel for the whole month. Tired of hearing her defend him, Jiannan finally tells her the truth about the game, claims Duo Yu is just using her, and tries to win her back, but Xia Zhu hits him with her purse and leaves the stadium, intending to tell Mr. Jean about all this. Jiannan chases after her, following her into some shady parts of the neighborhood. Back to the match, the Daxiang team is defending the goal to the point of bruises and bleeding. This determination earns the sympathy of the audience, who starts cheering for them, and even their coach tries to join the match when they run out of substitutes, but he slips on a water bottle and is out of the game before he can even do anything. Thankfully, having each other and their memories as a team together with the public's support is enough for them to hang on until the end and not let a single goal more happen. When the referee ends the game at 0-9, the whole stadium celebrates as if Daxiang had won, because stopping such an important team from reaching 2 digits feels like a victory. In the middle of the celebration, Duo Yu gets a call from Xia Zhu's phone, but there's a mysterious voice on the other end of the line telling him he's kidnapped his girlfriend, sending a picture to prove it kidnapper, then showing him how he's pushing Jiannan off the edge of a building and threatening to do the same to Xia Zhu if he doesn't pay 10 million before 6 o'clock. Duo Yu now is in a difficult situation, because if he pays to save Xia Zhu, he'd be breaking the rules of the game and lose his second grandfather's fortune. What he doesn't know is that this isn't real, it's the third and final test his grandfather left him. He has to prove he cares more about. At 6 o'clock, Mr. Jean and Xia Zhu get ready to leave, feeling rather disappointed, but when they're about to take the stairs, they find Duo Yu crying with his bags of money, ready to exchange them for Xia Zhu's life. Mr. Jean congratulates him on passing the test and plays the last message the grandfather left for Duo Yu, making him wonder how come he never got married or had kids when he was so rich. Mr. Jean reveals then he was the grandfather's significant other. Many months later, Duo Yu and a very pregnant Xia Zhu come back from traveling around the world. Now, they've enjoyed themselves enough, they're ready to donate all their money, but they interrupt their paperwork process when they realize they need to keep at least some for their future baby. The couple starts making a list of things they need, and while it starts pretty basic, it becomes filled with enough extravagant things that will end up with them donating nothing. Kindly subscribe and like for more movies. Thanks.